All right, we are live here today at the LRC Time Attack Cyberpunk Edition. I am joined today with Toasty and a bunch of other LRC members for our first group. Toasty, how are you doing today?
Yeah, I'm doing pretty good. This is going to be a really fun event. We've got a lot of interesting looking cars on here, very futuristic sci-fi. Some look very alien. So it should be a fun time watching these go around in the rain and at night.
Yep, and for those who haven't watched a Time Attack event, basically this is a multi sort of contest event where we have awards for the fastest lap, an award for the best livery design, an award for the best photo, which is new for this edition. So for people participating, they can do a like a photoscape from GT7, and then people will vote on them. And then finally, the last award is the best in show award. So it's like the best overall award. And I think what's cool is that people who win the previous awards can't win like an award later. So if you win fastest lap, you can't win like best livery design. So that way, not one person comes away with all the awards. And finally, we'll have 3 honorable mentions in the last, who also haven't won awards yet. So a lot of stuff to go on, a lot of stuff to cover. It's going to be really, really awesome. And with that being said, the track today is the Tokyo Expressway Central Clockwise, the bane of a lot of people's existence. This track, the Nugget, is the nuggetest of all nuggets. And what's especially challenging today is that we have not only the shortcut penalties enabled, but also the wall collision penalties, and it's raining, so a lot to think about. So with that being said, let's introduce our contestants, the first of which is not here, Cam. So our first contestant is Cam. So this is Cam's, I believe it's the Mercedes-Benz AMG VGT. It is also named the Villa Automator Mobius. So if you go to the next slide, which I think I actually have to change it to. Yep, you can vote on the photo score and the livery score, and then the overall score as well. He opted to do an interview, which I was going to ask him what his theme meant, what his design meant. So unfortunately, we don't have him here, so I guess we'll just continue. But maybe we can always come back to him whenever he comes back. All right. Second contestant in group 1 is Bishop78. Bishop, I know you elected to not do an interview, but Toasty, what do you think about this livery?
I like it. I like the theme. Terminator is one of my favorite movies, so let's get some points from me there.
Theme. I think someone else did a Skynet themed livery as well, so we'll probably see that later on as well.
Nice. Yeah, I like the colors.
For sure, yeah. And then in the Menti link, you can also see the photo of Bishop's car and the scape that he used, which is really, really cyberpunk themed. It's like a very industrial look to it. Super cool. Great job, Bishop. I like the wheels, the color of the wheels, and the skull on the front. I feel like Terminator was like probably one of the first cyberpunk related movies I've ever seen when I was like little. And I think Terminator 2 was probably the best film that I've seen when I was a kid that like really stuck with me.
Yeah, same, definitely. There's so many good scenes in that movie.
Yeah. And then Bishop added a little note to his livery. It said he said sent back in time to facilitate the extermination of the rebellion. So maybe his car his car is actually a Terminator itself. It'd be like a Terminator Transformer related thing.
Yeah.
All right. So for those who are watching, make sure you vote on Bishop's livery and photo score, and then also the overall score as well. And I think you can go back and forth on the link. I'm not exactly sure. Like I don't think you have to be on the same page as I am on the link. If I continue forward, you can always go back and change your votes or whatever, or update them. Okay, next contestant, Stenzel with the Porsche VGT. This one is called Syndicate Racing 555, and Stenzel added a little note here for me to read about his car. Pull it up. So the design for Syndicate Racing 555 was inspired by mixing one of my favorite movies, Tron, with the aesthetics from Cyberpunk 2077. I aimed to keep the design clean and minimal, high-tech, and futuristic. Signed fluorescent light strips highlight the beautiful curves of the Porsche VGT and bring out the slope through the onyx black nanocarbon shell. Very descriptive. While the design is clean, the team who manages and secures credits to run the team are not. Syndicate Racing gets most of the funding from underground technology cartels and hackers with the promise of big returns on their investment. That sounds very, very cyberpunk. Their business practices leave much to be desired in the way of ethics, but their partnership with Porsche has set up a spectacular team which has been very successful in recent years. Some speculate that the judges have been swayed by force or monetary gains, but Syndicate Racing has vehemently denied any and all accusations. Yes, there has been no swaying of votes here, since it is all done by our viewers. Yeah, epic job. Good job, Stenzel.
Yeah, it's a good looking car. And the Porsche logo on the back lights up when he brakes too. So watch out for that when he's doing his laps.
Yep. So if you're on menti.com right now, in the voting link, you should be able to see his car and his photo. And then you should also be able to vote on his photo score, livery score, and overall score. Very in-depth Syndicate Racing lore there. I really liked it. It's like a corrupt, kind of half corrupt team, but they're still kind of like, performing well. All right, we'll give a little bit of time for people to vote on the car. Yeah, Flying Disc says nice lore. Alrighty. Moving on to the next contestant. Number 4 is Rogue Nipra. He is driving the Peugeot VGT, titled Rogue Tech. I really like the motherboard design on the sides there, the yellow and green pattern, the like sort of lightning, like almost like digital lightning bolt in between. Very sleek.
Yeah, the sides almost look like some kind of graffiti too, kind of layered on top of each other. It looks very like something you would see on the side of a brick building or something in a cyberpunk setting. So very thematic.
It's got an AMD logo on the back. It's like a AMD sponsored Cyberpunk team.
Nice.
So he says he chose the car due to angles and how futuristic it looked. I like the sharp fender flares and the lack of windows. Ironically enough, the inspiration came from just sticker bombing the car and wanting to throw things on that were, quote, tech, quote, related, like circuit board traces and samurai oni as a nod to the Tokyo track. A coup on the back between the oni is a throwback to the show Samurai Jack. Oh man, Samurai Jack was the bomb. When Jack was sent to the future and all things were technologically different from his time, I chose pastel colors to stand out more at night. Very cool. All right, and our final contestant in the group one will be Dinosaur.
That's me.
And yeah, Dinosaur. So you want to tell us more about your livery, your inspiration?
Okay, yeah, so my car is the Rayfield Corpo Rat. It is, I love the game Cyberpunk. It's one of my favorite games I've ever played. And the expensive, fancy-looking cars in the game are the Rayfields. So when I chose my car, I looked at all the cars you put out on the VGT list for this, and I saw the Lambo, and I was like, yeah, that looks like it's from Cyberpunk. That's 50 years in the future. It was very fitting. I already knew like the theme of the car before I even looked at the list of the cars. So then from there I got in it and I was like, what's more cyberpunk than a pink Lambo? So we had to paint it pink, and then the teal accents actually happened by mistake. I was going to try to do something else and then it fell on there and I was like, that looks really good. It's kind of like a futuristic watermelon vibe. And then I got all the big corporations from the game. You see the Arasaka and Kangtech and all that around the car. It's kind of like the car they give to their execs when they do well, and then do a little samurai logo on the front fender is just like a FU to the corpos.
I see. Could you go over what the Arasaka Corporation is really quickly for our viewers?
Okay, so like the Arasaka Corporation in Cyberpunk is like one of 3 corporations that basically runs the world. They have all the money and they make all the rules, and they created this tech that can make the billionaires live forever, or it can like trap your soul inside. That's what they did to one of the main characters in the game. Yeah, so like they're like the rich, like if they got enough money they can fix anything and do what they want. So I don't know, it just felt good, like it wouldn't be a corpo car without Arasaka's name on it. They have their hand in everything type of deal.
All right. Sounds good, man. Looks great. Good job on the color choices, even though if it was a mistake.
Well, the green was like, I knew it was gonna, like, when I saw it, like I was like, it was either gonna be like pink or like a fluorescent purple was gonna be the base color. And then I saw the Lambo, I was like, pink Lambo's gotta be it. I was gonna do teal accents, but the actual like all the teal on the side of the car, that was just like an accidental find, and it just looked too good not to do it.
Nice. All right.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you want to add?
No, like not in particular. Ready to drive this thing on this nice dry track.
All right, sounds good. I believe our contestants are ready. If anyone's not ready, let me know. All right. So we got only 4 cars now since Cam is not here right now. So we have Stenzel, Dinosaur, Rogue, and Bishop all about to hit the track soon. I'll start the qualifying session in a few seconds. And we'll take like a minute break on the stream. So we'll be right back. Alrighty, so we started the qualifying session, and we're currently looking at B Ship right now, who head on to the track, leading the field. So Toasty, what are your thoughts on this track? I know you ran a few laps already on in the rain and the conditions. What do people got to watch out for when they're setting their time?
Yeah, it's a very challenging track. It feels quite narrow in places because of the barriers. And the barriers and fences and walls can be quite high, which leads to a lot of blind corners. Sometimes consecutive blind corners. So really, you just have to know the track very well, probably just from going around it lots and lots of times. It's a difficult track to learn, though, because a lot of the corners just look the same. So, yeah, it's one of those tracks where the experience on it really pays off.
Yeah, I think it's particularly interesting because, like, the corners on here aren't like well defined like they would be on a normal racetrack. They're kind of like blend into each other, like the different turns. And
Right.
I think that's one of the things that makes it really difficult. And then also, like the surface of the track, and I don't know if they actually do this on GT7, but there are a couple sections where there's like bumps on the track, when you're going over like the overpass area. It's like concrete bumps. I feel like whenever I've driven on them, like you definitely have less grip in the corner because of those bumps. I don't know if that's true or not, if that's just my brain, or I don't know if it's a placebo, but it definitely feels that way.
It definitely seems like it, right? And then the transition, like right here, you see those red strips. Those actually have a little bit different grip on the tires as well. So you kind of get like a little bit of jittering in the wheel if you're on a wheel when going over that transition there.
Yeah, I noticed braking in particular. They definitely cause some issues. And obviously the rain is not going to make it any better or easier, so. Stencil already picking up is that a 5-second penalty? Oh my goodness.
Yeah, that's from the wall contact there earlier on his outlap.
I didn't realize the wall contact penalties were that aggressive. That's crazy. I did notice though that the penalties are slightly more forgiving than like the circuit experience, for example, or some of the license tests. Like you can nudge the wall like a tiny bit, like you can touch the wall, but I think if you hit the wall pretty hard, it does give you like a really harsh time penalty.
Right. Yeah, when it actually gives you the penalty or not is quite lenient, but the penalty itself is very much not.
Yeah. Yeah. So it looks like Dinosaur has set a 127. He's on the board.
This section right here, the last couple of corners, is very difficult to spot where you need to brake. Of course, you want to brake as in a straight line as possible, but where that straight line is, it's difficult to see because of all the blind corners and, like we were saying before, with the walls and everything.
Yeah, I think it's because before the last corner, you kind of get like a slow left-hander, and it tightens slightly towards the end of it. And it's tricky because like it's at the end of the straightaway, so you're going so fast, like you got to slow down like in a weird way or find that straight line that you're saying. It's really tricky. Like on a dry track, I would just basically trail brake into that corner and you can do fine, but in these conditions I think it's completely difficult. Way more difficult.
Yeah, and the cars are very different from each other as well, so what might work in one car won't work in another.
So Bishop setting a 123.653, jumps to the top of the leaderboard. There he goes again, looking at Bishop. He just hit that the wall on the right side right at the last corner, just like Dinosaur did in the previous lap.
Stenzel puts in a 122.3. One thing about the penalties, the slowdown zone and the kind of the back straight up to the overpass, it's in a very tricky spot. So if there's a couple cars in front of you that have penalties, it can get really difficult to navigate around them.
Yeah, that's certainly true. I think it's kind of like a what's the word? Like a consideration. It's important for the drivers that are serving their penalty to kind of keep the radar on and know if there's anyone coming behind them and kind of jump off the racing line in this situation.
Yeah.
It's a courtesy thing. That's the word. Oh my god, the courtesy thing. Yeah, courtesy thing.
I was too busy looking at the bright pink Lamborghini here. It's such a cool livery.
I love the front lights of it. They're just like lines that follow the car. They're super cool.
Yeah.
And the tail lights is just like the same kind of motif, that like triangle look to it.
Yeah, I like that they go along the wing of the car.
So Rogue set a new personal best and had third place for maybe 2 seconds before Dinosaur upped his time and stole that spot back.
Well, it looks like Stenzel has in that Porsche a battery. Kind of a different icon than Dinosaur's hybrid. I don't really know what the difference is there.
Oh yeah, look at that.
Those
That's
are
really
the two hybrid
interesting.
cars. Yeah. And then Rogue and Bishop's cars are both normal gas-powered engines, I would assume. Although it's a Cyberpunk car, so it could be powered by anything.
From the sound of it, it sounds like Stenzel's Porsche is an electric vehicle. And I think maybe the
it's
battery,
fully electric.
Yeah, I think the battery is simply the fuel, and then the
I
up or
see.
down is like whether it's consuming or recharging. Whereas Dinosaur
makes
is
sense.
hybrid, I think, right? And it's got the battery powered separate motor for the deployment of the extra horsepower.
Yeah,
Kinda like the LMP cars.
jumping on board with Stenzel, it's definitely an electric car. That windscreen on it is really interesting how it just wraps around in one piece. Seems like they had some inspiration when designing this Vision Gran Turismo from the LMP cars, the Porsche LMP cars, where they have just the one-piece windshield that goes around. Stenzel almost into the 121s already, 10 minutes in.
Oh, does the Volkswagen VGT not have an interior? I don't think it does.
I think it's the Peugeot, or do they both not have?
Both might not have one.
Oh wow.
Yeah, they both don't have one. Okay. Yeah, I was wondering why I couldn't see the interior of the car.
So gap between first and second right now, 600ths. Bishop just takes the top spot there.
Nice. Bishop with a 122.056. We're riding on board now with Dinosaur and looking at his ridiculous cockpit that he's got there. It's definitely very cyberpunk.
Whoa. He had it very sideways there into a lot of the corners.
Yep.
Oh boy. Got it a bit too close there to the inside pit wall. Trying to get it turned around before another car
like
arrives on the scene.
Like
there we
Austin
go.
Powers in.
He's
there
got
we
it.
go. In the meantime, racked up a 20-second penalty, going back and forth, trying to get his car out. Oh man.
Oh, that is a crazy interior on that thing. It's got 3 cameras facing backward, and then a glass roof, and then also these little windows Dinah was talking about earlier. Down by his feet there, you can see like the little pink of the front wing peeking out there.
That's wild.
He's gonna get to the ramp to the overpass here and gonna sit for a while. Here for those 20 seconds.
Yeah, we'll hop over to Rogue, see how he's doing. So he's had some pretty consistent times. He's doing like 120. He's like in the upper 120s. And I think the laps where you get a penalty, they show up in red. I think. So he's been doing his stint really well. Like it looks like he hasn't really hit a wall or got any time penalties. So I think his strategy is to slowly build up his laps and slowly get faster and faster, and you can see his time's dropping a little bit. He did have his fastest though. I think it was the second lap, 126.05. I think one of the challenges here is like when you run a fast lap and you want to get closer to your personal best, it's riskier and riskier. You gotta take more risks, and hitting the wall kind of makes it have to reset for a whole lap, and it's kind of disruptive to your flow if you're trying to get faster and faster.
Oh, well, 121.2 from Stenzel. Oh my goodness. That's flying. Yeah, he must not have liked the gap going down to 600ths there. He's like, why not 7/10? How does that sound? It looks like he's got more pace in it too.
Yeah,
he keeps getting a half a second or so purple in the first sector. That is a very quick car.
Yeah, it's unfortunate he has a penalty this lap. He's on a purple sector. Yeah, it was about a half a second down from his best lap, so you have to go around again and see if you can get that same improvement on his next lap. So we just hit the 15-minute mark, when I just hit it about 30 seconds ago. We got about 10 minutes left in the session. Stenzel's still improving his times. Hop over, take a look at Bishop, see how his times are doing. So Bishop's previous best was a 122.0. Just about 8/10 slower than Stenzel's current fastest. And Bishop set his best in his third lap.
It's funny how Bishop has one of the 2 gas-powered engine cars, yet it's the most efficient. It looks like is over a quarter tank of fuel. Not even the electric-powered vehicle has a quarter, it's used more than a quarter of its battery, is what I'm trying to say.
Oh yeah, look at that.
That was funny.
And Stenzel's Porsche though still has a lot of battery power in it. It's crazy.
Yeah, I think it started at 100%.
Oh, okay.
Improving his time just a little bit there. Looks like Rogue has beaten his personal best there on his last lap, lap 11.
Very nice.
124.8. I'm wondering if he can put some new tires on the car right at the end. I mean, they haven't worn much, but maybe there'll be a bit of a temperature difference coming right out of the pits. I don't know if it makes it warmer or cooler.
Yeah, that's a good question.
He's run 13 laps now. Like, the car's getting lighter and lighter as the fuel burns.
I would think new tires would probably be like fresh new tires would probably be worse off since they're not to temperature. I don't think this is a situation where the intermediates are overheating, but it looks like his fronts are starting to wear down, so maybe.
Oh my goodness, Stenzel into the 120s. 120.8.
It's interesting. I wonder I wonder if there's no way that like lighter more consumed battery means like a lighter car, right? Like I'm sure
Right.
GT7 has thought of this and was like, as a battery powered car uses up its quote unquote fuel or energy, it does not get lighter.
Yeah, I think it's just been a case of Stenzel finding the right line around a lap here and just improving as he's going. And it's going to be a very difficult time to beat.
Oh. Dinosaur, not dinosaur, Bishop there almost wall riding turn 1, barely scraping the outside of the barriers, the outside barriers, as he was just crushing it through turn 1.
Finding the very am I looking for? Limit. Finding limit. The limit. There we go. Oh, purple sector 1 there.
Bishop on a good lap.
Yeah, it looks like he's maintained that speed there. So right about the amount of time he was up last sector.
Yeah, I think this time attack is really all about this last sector here. Oh, it gets a little squirrely.
Looks like he lost about 9/10 down that straight. So the Volkswagen EGT obviously not as quick in a straight line. Does improve a little bit there.
Oh, that's crazy. A whole, yeah, maybe that's the section that Bishop is losing all of his time to Stenzel for whatever reason.
Yeah, it seems like it can get around the tight corners just a little bit better. But as soon as it gets to the straight, that Porsche really has the power. That dinosaur's still getting very close to that inside pit wall. That initial bump there didn't phase him at all. Kind of amazes me how efficient the hybrid is in that Lamborghini. What is this, lap 16 for him? And it still has some charge in there.
Yeah. Dinosaur does have a few laps that are in the 30s and 40s, so maybe he's charging the battery on those, but
Yeah, it could be.
it could be that or it could be his penalties. It's kind of tough to say at this point. Heading into the pits. Looks like Bishop heading into the pits as well.
Yeah, I wonder if they're gonna have enough time. I think Bishop is just
Yeah, I think he called it quits. I
ended
think
his
he
qual.
had,
Yeah.
enough. I think he had enough of it, enough of the time attack. And so we'll ride on board with Stenzel for a little bit.
He's just serving a 10-second penalty now.
Yeah, we'll see if he can get across the line. I don't think he'll get across the line. Yeah, it looks like he won't get across the line for another lap.
And neither will Rogue, it looks like. So he dives into the pits there.
Is it making him go straight around? I think it is. Funny.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, so I guess if you cross the line in the pits, it makes you go through. That's interesting.
The auto drive takes over though.
Yeah.
Okay. Looks like everyone's pretty much finished up here then. Dinosaur's just taking his pink Lamborghini around the last few corners.
Yeah, I think that's it. Alright, so we'll wait till the...
There we go.
Yep. Alrighty, so let's take a look at the results. You got Stenzel with the fastest lap at 1:20, 1 minute 20 seconds, 0.895. Dinosaur in second with a 1:24, 1:24.495, and a Rogue with a 1:24.845. So really close there. Dang.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. And B-Ship was actually
B-Ship
second.
yeah.
Yeah, B-Ship was actually second with a 1:22.0. All right. That's crazy. Let me just record these laps real quick. All right, and then we'll take a 5-10 minute break and then get our second group in here. So we'll be right back on the stream, guys. Hang tight. Alrighty, we're back for part 2. Let's just go over quickly the leaderboard for the different awards that we got so far. So fastest lap so far goes to Stenzel. Bishop is in second with his 122 with a gap of 1.1 from Stenzel. Rogue is Dinosaur. Oh, well, I think I messed up the scoring. So it's actually Dinosaur's third with a 124.495, and then Rogue with a 24.845. I'll have to update that on the sheet. Yeah, Rogue just corrected me in chat. If we look at the best designs leaderboard so far, so Stenzel and Dinosaur actually tied for first with an 8.7. We got Rogue with a 7.8, Bishop in fourth with a 7.2, and Cam with a 6.4.
Tight.
Yeah, it's super tight. Best photo leaderboard, Bishop number 1 with a 7.5. Stenzel in second with a 7.3. Those two are very close. And then we have third is Cam Villa with a 5.4. Tied with him is Dinosaur with a 5.4. And then Rogue with a 5.2. And finally... Oh, go ahead. Go, Dinosaur.
I was going to say, if I knew the photo contest was the photo we submitted, I would have done a little better.
I told you. I was like, did you? It's like you want to give me a better
confused
picture?
as to what you said. I thought the photo contest was going to be a race photo of the event afterwards.
No, it's like a real photo, like a photo contest photo. Rogue says same. Okay, maybe I should have been a little bit more clear on that. Next time. All right,
It was you be a photographer, correct?
What was that?
It was like you be a photographer and make the best like scape or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, I gotcha.
All right, best in show leaderboard. It says best photo at the top, but it's actually best in show. So Stenzel with the 8.2 with the best in show top of the leaderboard right now. Bishop in second with a 7.5. Dinosaur with a 7.3, Rogue with a 6.2, and then Cam with 4.0. Keep in mind that if you win, like fastest lap, for example, Stenzel won't be able to win any of the other awards. So even though he's first in a lot of these, he won't be able to win all the awards. Okay, that being said, let's get back to introducing our group.
Hey, that's my car.
Yep. So that is not our first contestant of Group 1 or Group 2. Excuse me. Our first contestant of Group 2 is Flying Disc. Oh, and then also I forgot to introduce you to the commentary booth, Dinosaur, but here you are.
Hey,
okay,
everybody.
Flying Disc. Talk us through your livery and your design and what inspired you to choose your car, one, and then also make the livery that you did.
Okay, well, I kind of did like a wacky crossover Cyberpunk and Gran Turismo. I picked out the car because it's fun to drive and it looks pretty sick in VR, which ironically I'm not actually going to do tonight, but regardless of that. My theme is like the Netrunners have hacked Sony AI computers and have stolen the GT Sophie program for illegal street racing.
Nice.
So basically, Netrunners, if you guys don't know, are a part of Cyberpunk where they like augment their body with robotic parts. So basically, you take this GT Sophie program, put it in like a cybernetic drive in your body, download Sophie's program, and it drives through you. So you're just driving. You're not thinking. You're a passenger, but it's using your arms, your feet, and you're driving like Sophie. So
Nice.
that's what I'm going to do tonight.
That's real creative. Sophie's pretty intense, by the way. Like, I don't know if you guys have ever done the Sophie races, but sometimes like Sophie can be super aggressive.
Sophie's intense.
Yeah. All right. Okay.
And the livery is basically just, I wanted the Cyberpunk colors. Threw a little Sophie livery in there, which
Yeah,
ironically has the circuit traces.
I feel like the Sophie colors, or the Cyberpunk colors are really popular. I think they just look great in general.
Yeah,
Kind of match with the Sophie as well.
I tried to work with the car a little bit, accent certain parts of it.
All right. Sounds good. All right. If you're on the Menti website, you should be able to vote on Flying Disc's car for the photo, the livery score, and the overall score. And we'll move on to our next contestant. We got Token Timmy. All right, Token.
Hello. How you doing this evening?
Good, good. Talk us through your car. It seems like you're the other Skynet car.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. We both got the Volkswagen. Okay, so my car's name is Cyberdyne Systems EX4 because it's a four-wheel drive experimental vehicle from Cyberdyne Industries. It's evolved technology from the T1000, which is like Terminator 2, like, you know, everyone knows that one. It's the metal cop that, you know, can morph all his metal and stuff.
Goo Man.
Goo Man, exactly. If you look at the very top as it goes around on the windshield banner, that's where all the sensors are for the car. So, like, that's where the input is. Like, I put a lot of different layers in that, but that's essentially, like, where he gets his input from. You know, there's other inputs around, but that's mostly it. Like, that's his eye and all his sensors and all that stuff. And then on the hood, it's all the microprocessors and stuff.
Nice.
You know, there's a driver to the car, but mostly it's technology that you can put in the car, like at the OBD port, pretty much, and it takes over. You know, Cyberdyne Industries AI stuff. It takes over to retrofit any current car, and acts like a parasite that it becomes part of the Terminator network.
Right.
It's on the streets to eliminate any resistant patrols.
So
And there's
the
a
track,
huge late. Oh, go ahead.
So on the track, basically, it's gonna be like the AI of your car battling Sophie AI, like cybernetically, while you're both trying to put down fast laps.
Correct. Yep.
The Netrunner car's gonna try to go fast, and the Terminator's gonna blow him off the road.
And there's a huge laser that you know took a bunch of little decal to get all lined up on the different thing, but that the laser goes all the way around because technically, you know, you can't. It's not a Terminator without lasers and stuff.
Yeah.
But yep, that's what I interpolated from the future.
I love the connection to the present with the Open AI logo on the back, like the ChatGPT, like AI stuff.
I'm glad you got that because yeah, I mean, you know, who knows where we're going.
Yeah, I like the connection there is very real. It's very scary. All right, if you're on Menti, you can vote on Token Timmy's car. Vote on the photo and the livery score and overall score.
Oh, I really like the Terminator face on your helmet. That's a good touch.
Thank you. I did not make that, but I did like that too. My Menti's all broken. I'm stuck on.
Yeah, if you refresh it, you should be able to.
You can skip through them too.
Yeah.
If you're stuck on my car, make sure you put all 10s so I can move up those leaderboards. It'll let you by.
Gotcha.
All right. Thank you so much, Token.
Thank you.
All right. We got our Ryder up next.
What's up?
What's up, Ryder? Talk us through your car choice and your livery.
Well, first things first, the car is... Well, the VGTs are very expensive, and this is the only one on the list I had currently in my inventory. But then thinking about it, I like this car because this is what the Supra was supposed to be. This is what the car was supposed to look like. This was the realist bridging Gran Turismo we have in the game, and it still looks cool and
Like 100 times
sporty.
better than the Supra.
Yes, it's not the current Supra's not bad, but this is what it could have been.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of the VGTs, like, I wish they would have kept a lot of the designs and like the concepts that would come out before the actual cars do. I feel like a lot of the designers get cold feet before they actually, do something like that. Do
But at
something
the
too
same
aggressive.
time, a lot of them are carried away. While this one still looks like it could be an actual car. This looks like it can be actual design, actual parts. But some of the VGTs are a little creative in a sense. But yeah.
Sweet. So if you're
But
looking
the
at, good.
just the delivery real quick. I'm not the most profound in the delivery creator. So I just said simple blue and yellow, which is usually like futuristic color. Usually like the electricity and like neon-ish a vibe to it. And nothing special, just a bit of electrical uh, hints, I guess. Not sure the word I'm looking for.
I do like the iridescent look paint that's got the different sort of shade, metallic shade to it. Looks really cool.
Yeah, it took a while to find a paint that like this, where it has like a bluish yellow that was just like shiny. But yeah, it was a good color choice in my opinion.
All right, if you're looking at Menti, you can see our rider's escape, and you should be able to vote on his score now. That said, thank you, Ryder. We'll move on to our final, sorry, not our final contestant, our second last contestant, Azazel.
Hello.
Hey, Azazel, how's it going?
Pretty good, how are you?
Great. All right, you chose the Honda, was it the
Honda Sports.
Honda Sports VGT? Yep. Talk us through your car choice and delivery.
So I picked this car because I remember early on, this is like the first VGT I owned, and I just remembered how effortlessly this car would take some corners. So the moment you announced this time attack, I said, "Oh, I'm taking that car," even after you told me that it was going to be absolutely flooded on the track. But it's fine, we'll deal with it.
Yeah, so what Azazel is referring to is that this car, unlike the others, is a front engine, I think, or maybe it's a mid engine. I can't remember which one it was,
Yeah,
but it's a rear-wheel drive car.
Right?
Yeah, I think
MR, I
it's mid.
believe.
Yeah, it's an MR. Yep. So unlike the others, it's not all-wheel drive. So I was warning Azazel. I was like, okay, it might be harder to drive in the rain. And Azazel was just like, nope, still doing it.
Yeah, he showed no hesitation on picking the car.
I was impressed. I was like, man, okay, like, just chime in here, man. Okay.
What made you choose the Arasaka as the corporation to team up with Honda?
It first started out with I thought the car looked very great by itself. Like just with a flat color, the car looks great. But like that won't work in like a library contest. I'd get like 0 points across the board. So I thought let me choose just a corporation from Cyberpunk then that I feel could that would look good on this car. So taking what I thought about the car, thinking about how great it looked by itself. I combined that with like Arasaka's sort of like sleek like design aesthetics that they have throughout the Cyberpunk universe, and I just combined them into like this sports car that is like it's a mix between kind of like flashy like Cyberpunk, but it's not it's not as gaudy as it's not something that Arasaka would put out. They wouldn't put something out that's like entirely like blow your minds out like colors everywhere. So I tried combining those two to create like a sort of just a modest livery that suits the car, and it looks, at least to me, it looks, you know,
Not as gaudy as that pink Lambo that we saw earlier, right?
dude, that
Right,
was a
that
crime,
was
to be honest with you.
All right. All right. Thank you, Azazel.
Yep.
We'll move on to our final contestant, our actual final contestant. All right, Toasty. Welcome, Toasty, if you're in chat.
Hello.
All right, talk us through your car choice and the livery choices as well.
I feel like the card choice was more process of elimination, meaning that a lot of the choices were made before I realized we were choosing. So I was kind of just like, oh yeah, that one has a hybrid, that's cool. It might get good acceleration out of these corners, and it's 4-wheel drive, which is great. So I went with that without driving it, and yeah, didn't really realize what car I was driving or what it looked like. So it was interesting to make a livery on it. But yeah, it's very spaceship looking. I kind of went for like a if Batman was a cyborg in the future. Kind of reminds me of like the classic Batman movies. How you have like that sleek rocket ship looking Batmobile.
Yeah, with the really long hood, really long front.
Yeah.
You could definitely set that thing upright on the brake light and watch it blast off. It is so spaceshipy.
I can't wait to see. Hopefully, this has a cockpit view so we can see what it looks
It
like.
does, and it looks like a
It
spaceship.
does, yeah.
Oh my god, that's gonna be cool. All right.
It's very, very difficult to drive quickly, so we'll see if I can get a top 3 out of it.
Your scape looks super dope though. It's got like a lot of the cool like lights bouncing off your car. So if you're on
Thank you,
Menti,
yeah.
you can see Toasty's photo, and you should be able to vote on his car as well. All right. That said, we will get started in just a bit. We'll take like a minute break, and then we'll start the time attack session. So we'll be right back. Alrighty. We are starting up our second group session here. We got another 25 minutes to go. Equal conditions, so even though it's raining, it's going to be the exact same level of rain for both groups, and the conditions don't change during the session. So we'll see how each of the drivers do as they continue throughout the session, if they keep improving, but the conditions themselves don't have any sort of variable or any play into people's time. So, Dinosaur, how was your
Yes.
run in Group 1? What were the challenges of the track and the conditions?
Yeah, the rain wasn't so much of a challenge, but it was the track wasn't as wet as it would appear to be with the amount of rain coming down, and it being in a four-wheel drive car, it wasn't hard. Now, Azazel might have a different set of challenges with his experiences tonight. We'll see shortly about that. But the biggest challenge I had was just trying to keep the car out of the wall. Ooh, a little bit of contact there.
Yeah, rider there, pretty aggressive, looking to
He
get
did
that
not
clean
want
air.
to be behind Toasty. He went up.
Yeah, it's almost like those two are like racing right now. Wow.
Yeah, it might be an intense qualifying session between these two right here. They're gonna go after it, push each other to be faster.
I love the
Or-
little winglets that pop out on the side of Toasty's,
Toasty's car? Yeah.
That's so cool.
See, Ryder's got a 5-second penalty, so his lap is not going to count unless they make him serve the penalty. Oh, I noticed on both of these guys' cars, their hybrid system is basically depleted, whereas I think on my car and Stenzel's car, where we had to lower our power so much, like my hybrid meter never went below about 75%.
Yeah, I did see that. I did notice that. That was really interesting. Yeah, they're gonna have to probably alternate hot laps and charge laps to get their battery back up. But even then, because it's raining, it's a little bit harder to put that power down. But like you said, it's not like that bad, so it's still an advantage.
No, I mean, on track, it was barely in the realm of intermediates. I actually, if you saw me pit at the end of my session, I was going to try to throw a set of slicks on and see if I could do something with them, but it wouldn't let me. The authorities said no. So Toasty's going with the strategy of resetting back into the pits to refill that hybrid meter battery instantly.
Yeah, I think that's a good strategy call by Toasty. I think trying to charge it up during a lap it's not efficient enough to be able to get back that charge.
No, but in doing so, he also resets his fuel every time, so we'll see if that comes into play later versus the strategy of taking a couple laps to burn fuel and try to charge your battery back up.
That's right. So Azazel sets a 125.13. That's
Flying Disc. It's got the hot lap currently at a 123.306.
looks like Sophie AI is starting to kick in after a couple laps. It's starting to learn the course already. Up on his first sector already, so he's 3/10 above his first sector. And previously we saw, in the first group, we saw Stenzel with the 120, so it's likely we'll see these times drop as the session goes on. Getting into a little bit of traffic though.
Okay, so Toasty's starting his hot lap with about 60% of that hybrid battery. We'll see what he does. Ryder 120.8 coming in hot, moving up the leaderboards.
Yeah, it's certainly quick. Up on board with Toasty. Wow, look at that cockpit. That's nuts. Oh my goodness.
Yes, sir. It looks like a space shuttle. The whole car has got space vibes.
It's kind of like the holographic, the holographic RPMs and the speed. That's so sweet. That's amazing. That's absolutely wild. You know, like, I didn't really enjoy the VGTs that much when they first started introducing them to Gran Turismo. But I feel like this has given me a little bit of more of appreciation for them, seeing all the details they put into the cockpit and everything. It looks pretty cool. Like that's like awesome, like detail and like, I don't know if innovation's the right word, but creativity maybe. Pretty neat.
It is. If you hop over to Ryder's cockpit, you can see a full track map in the display screen.
Oh yeah, look at that. There's a little nugget behind his steering wheel.
The nuggetiest of nuggets. I also put his current gear in the steering wheel itself.
Yeah.
With the red line. Now, see, Ryder is he's actually getting quite a fill on that battery as he starts pushing into his next hot lap. He got that thing above the 50% mark. So he's starting his hot laps at about the same battery that Toasty's starting his with the strategy. Now, the Ryder must have also taken a fuel stop in his. He has substantially more gas than the guys without the hybrid system.
Yeah, so maybe him and Toasty are both using like the pit strategy to come back out with charged battery, but unfortunately more fuel.
Yes. Yeah, so we might not see their lap times increase too much throughout the session, whereas the guys on the non-hybrid cars may be able to put down a very quick lap here at the end of the session when they got fumes in the gas tank. It looks like Azazel's out here on wets as well. I imagine if he swapped over to inners, he would drop 2 or 3 seconds off of his lap time. That may be going.
Yeah, he's lapping like 124s, so that would make sense. Like I think he'd be able to at least get into the 123s.
Oh, Ryder with the 120.0. Is that quick enough to take the lead?
That is. That would put him in first place.
Well, Toasty's about to come up on a hot lap right here. What's he gonna put down? Is he gonna improve on his time? A slight improvement, 1/10 and a half.
Yeah, it seems like
to
he's
a
struggling
122.4.
Back into the pits he goes.
Oh, I wonder if Azazel's making the choice to go wets because he's got that MR car and he isn't confident in his abilities to keep it out of the wall and inners.
Yeah, it could be a choice based on grip levels, but I feel like that would probably make the car worse, right? Like in general, in these conditions, the wets are going to have less grip than the inters. And then that the rear-wheel drive is going to make it even worse overall. So I don't know.
The inters were feeling amazing.
I feel like his race engineer needs to go and give him that bit of info. Zazel there, pulling aside, making way for flying disc.
Rogue Neeper's commented, and looks like Ryder's coming for your position. Rogue, I think Ryder has already taken that spot from Stenzel, which just means Stenzel will be available to win other awards. He was in the lead on Mini.
Azazel's not doing bad though. If you look at the times.
No, he's putting down good times. I just think
Yeah.
he'd have even better times if he changed his tire choice.
Yeah. Maybe he'll change it later in the session. Find us there, losing a little bit of control. Oh. Almost has an incident there with Azazel as comes by. Maybe that's a very calculated move by Sophie. Knew that
Put the
Azazel's-
pressure on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Can't be very comfortable for Flying Disc in the convertible open top in the rain. Toasty, another 122. Seems
Back to
kind
the
of stuck.
pits.
Yeah, stuck in the 122s.
Maybe that's what he was referring to when he said he picked his car without driving it. He sounded like he had some reservations about the car. Maybe he knew couldn't get as much out of it as he needed to put in a really competitive time.
Yeah, and it's not like you can really tune these cars that much either. So it's
Yeah, you just kind of stuck with what you got.
yeah.
Looks like
Yeah,
we're just
Rook
past
says-
the halfway point.
Rogue says LSD was the only thing that he could mess with other than ballast and power, yeah. I think that was the downside of choosing the VGTs for an event. Like, there's not much you can kind of tweak to get your car to be that much better or anything. But I think that's one of the reasons why I chose it to make it rain. And it kind of equalizes the conditions just a little bit on the cars. But I think the next time we'll do like more of a tuning kind of event back to the original, closer to the original time attack event.
I see, the one where we brought some outrageous cars that were borderline undrivable.
Yeah.
It was a good time. And in the meantime, it looks like Ryder has put down a 119.9. Man's has broke the 120 marker. That is lightning quick around this course.
Yeah, looks like the FT1 was a good choice.
Indeed.
Yeah, I think whatever car is going to give you a lot of downforce on this track is going to be the ones that are going to be more advantageous. And it was kind of unclear to me, like the downforce on certain cars, the ones that didn't have wings but have like those little flaps that pop up, like Toasty's car, for example. Like, it's kind of hard to know how much downforce you're going to get with something like that on a corner.
Yeah, Toasty's car has nothing on the back. It's just... It looks like it's meant to go really fast in a straight line.
we'll ride with on board with Ryder here for his next hot lap.
He's getting a little sideways in that turn one. Of maintaining control of the car well. Doing well, setting a purple time through sector 1. It makes you wonder if having that nugget down there underneath the steering wheel is helping him learn the track better.
Yeah, it's the real advantage in all of the different tech that you have. It's just simply the diagram of the nugget behind your steering wheel. Forget Sophie AI, forget Skynet.
That's all you need.
It's the track map nugget.
Well, he lost some time there in sector 3. He was almost a half a second up at the end of sector 2, but it's still been the purple. We might see him improve on that 119. And he does indeed.
Wow.
119.4. Oh.
All right, we'll ride with Toasty on his next hot lap. He's currently on his hot lap.
You left traction control on. I see.
did.
I didn't even know it was an option.
You know, maybe I don't know, it looks like Ryder's got it on as well. Yeah.
Yeah, Ryder and Azazel are both rolling with it.
To be honest, I don't even remember if I originally had traction control as a setting or not. Or yeah, I didn't specify in the original event details, so.
And after running the first season in the league, I forgot traction control existed, so.
That's a good thing. Like, obviously, with some cars, it's a little better, a little easier to ride traction control, but I think if you can run without it, I think it's highly advantageous. Maybe not in these conditions, but in dry conditions, most definitely.
Toasty's car really comes alive on the straights, but you can look at when he corners, it looks like the car is having a lot of issues. There's probably some aerodynamics that were not geared for nugget-shaped tracks.
I mean, if you just look at the car, it looks like a car that does not like to turn.
No, it does not.
Alright, as Toasty crosses the finish line here, he's gonna get almost breaks into the 121s, 122.
It looks like Flying Disc has got up into the 121s on his last hot lap. 121.5. And it also looks like Azazel went into the pits and switched to intermediates. He is running his first lap on the inners as a 123, a full 2 seconds, or one whole second faster than his last fast lap.
Yeah.
He's behind Token Timmy by .001 of 1 second.
Oh my god, are you serious? 1,000th of a second?
1,000th of a second is the time difference.
Yeah, look at that. Wow. 1,000th of a second. That is such an insane small amount of time. Like, the difference of that time is like having an extra pound in your car. Is like what makes the difference. Or like sneezing, like to make your car go slightly faster or slower, for example.
Yeah, that's like I don't even know how much like that would be a photo finish that you'd have to look at with a microscope. Like who actually won? But looks like Azazel is lapping much faster now and he enters this next lap. It got him 123.0. He's climbing up.
Yeah, Rogue is saying it's the difference between someone take a pre-race restroom break or eating before a race.
Absolutely.
It's interesting how you were talking about earlier in the session how the gas-powered cars are going to keep improving their times. And we saw with Flying Disc, he was able to overtake Toasty on his best time.
Well,
Although
on lap
Ryder
13.
Yep. Although Ryder, for whatever reason, just keeps getting faster. It's nuts.
It's a nugget map. A car has learned, like, it just, like, became one with the track. It's like it knows where to go.
His nugget map, like, the resolution gets sharper and sharper, and he gets faster and faster as it becomes more clear.
Yeah, his future car has a brain of its own. The car itself is learning the nugget with every lap.
Yeah, Rogue says, if I had known you could touch some walls more than others, I totally would have rode some more walls. Yeah. So the collision penalties here are less forgiving than the circuit experience in time trial or license events. Like in those events, you touch the wall, it's over. But in lobbies, if you have the wall collision penalty set, you need a little bit more force to trigger them.
Ryder's putting in a hot lap. Looks like everybody might get one more hot lap.
Oh, wow.
Oh, 119.1 for Ryder.
Almost into the 118s. That's crazy.
Yeah, Toasty's just started his lap. Looks like down here at the bottom we're coming up on the 25-minute mark.
And Toasty, in his last hot lap, was able to leapfrog Flying Disc in the qualification as well.
Oh, I see that. So Azazel's going to be the last one to cross the line. Flying Disc and Token Timmy crossed after it finished. We got Toasty's going to be the first to finish his final hot lap. We'll see if he's going to make up any more ground.
That thing really does look like the Batmobile from, I think, the Batman Begins, or the Dark Knight from the back.
If it had like some big gnarly looking tires on it and he just painted it black, it would be the Batmobile.
Yeah. All right. 124 for Toasty there.
124 on Toasty. That's Ryder 118.6 on his last lap.
Oh my god.
Throwing it down. That is insane. Azazel's going to finish up here right now. Azazel improves 122.5. Switching to the inners seemed to take his time down dramatically. Move up at the end.
All right, let's look
Damn,
at the
Ryder.
leaderboard. Yeah, Ryder, dang, 118.649. Toasty was able to break the 122s, ended up in second with the 121.2. Flying Disc with the 121.5, so really close between Toasty and Flying Disc. Fourth, Azazel with a 122.5 was able to. Yeah, it was about 2 seconds, about 1.5 seconds with the inners.
He shaved half a second off of his fastest lap on his very last lap. That 122.5 was the last lap for him.
Nice. And finally, rounding out the bottom, we have Token Timmy at the 123.5. So I'll add these into the leaderboard, and then we'll take a quick break, and then we'll go into the award ceremony. So we'll be right back in a couple minutes.
Can we do race?
Alrighty, we are back, and we'll go through the different awards. So to review the awards, we got an award for the fastest lap, one for best design award, so that's basically best livery. We got one for best photo, best in show, and then honorable mention. So there'll be an honorable mention for each commentator. So each of us will give out a best in, or sorry, honorable mention. All right, so fastest lap. If you go to the leaderboard,
I think we know who's up there.
Yeah, Ryder with a 1:18.6. That's crazy. The gap to him for second place is 2.2 seconds. So I guess if we end up doing another one of these or the same event, we're gonna have to ban the Toyota FT1. That thing is just too fast. But great job to Ryder for putting that lap down. That's requires a lot of skill to be able to get that thing to the end, to the finish line. All right. Best design goes to Stenzel. It's actually a tie. Oh my, okay, so we got a tie.
Yay!
Between Dinosaur and Stencil, so both of you guys
We
will get the
both
award.
win.
Yeah. Both of you guys will get the award. So congrats on
Thank you,
Dinosaur. And congrats to Stenzel.
Yeah, Stenzel had a pretty Porsche. There's all that syndicate money.
All right. Best photo award goes to Azazel.
Nice.
Yeah, that was a really nice photo. The Honda with like the reflection on the floor, that looked really, really nice. Good job to Azazel. And finally, best in show, since Stenzel already won the best design award, the best in show award will go to Bishop with the Bad Decisions Racing Cybernetic Express car.
Nice.
I think that
Nice.
leaves pretty much a honorable mention for the rest of the contestants that appeared in the event. So that leaves out basically Token Timmy, Flying Disc, and Rogue. I
Toasty and
believe.
Ryder. And
Oh,
Toasty.
yeah, Toasty, yeah, Toasty as well. Yeah, Toasty as well.
Yep.
Ryder got the fastest lap, so he's
Yeah,
he's
so
taken care of.
Toasty and Rogue, yeah.
So Timmy, Toasty, Flying Disc, and Rogue. Honestly, I feel like everyone should just get an honorable mention.
I
Like, this
agree.
is-
Like, all those cars looked good. Everybody's times were pretty similar. Lots of good looking photos as well.
Yeah, I think like especially with this time attack, the conditions were much worse. You know, it's like much more challenging. It was nighttime. These cars are hard, like pretty hard to drive. So, congrats to everyone. Like everyone did a really good job with their car. Really great.
I love the
deliveries.
theme too, Stenzel. I loved it too, man.
Yeah. So, back to the awards. I can actually type in different winners. So, our rider, fastest lap, best design was Dinosaur
And Stenzel.
Denzel. Best photo, Azazel. Best in show is Bishop. And then the honorable mention will go to the rest of our contestants. So Token Timmy. Toasty. Toasty, man, that car looked really hard to drive.
Yeah.
It did. If we ever have another drag racing event, though, bring it back.
Yeah. It'll have hybrid for about 100 meters and then it won't.
Dude, when you hit the brakes, though, and the little flaps came up on the wings, it looked so cool.
Oh yeah, I did like that about it. That was a cool part of about the car.
Rug, you're getting cut off a little bit on the stream there. Let me move you in. There you go. Alrighty. So, any closing thoughts, you guys, for Dinosaur and Toasty?
Oh no. I
Did we
lost
lose?
audio for a second. I'm back.
Okay, yeah, I lost audio for a second too. I was just saying, any closing thoughts, Toasty or Dinosaur?
Overall, that was a go on, Toasty.
Yeah, it was a cool event. Overall, got to see a lot of cool shots of, futuristic cars and reflections of puddles and that kind of thing.
Yeah, I liked it overall. The cyberpunk theme was a lot of fun to play with the future looking cars. Could have had a little more rain, but overall, yeah, it was a good time.
Alrighty, there you have it. Thanks again, guys, for everyone who participated. You guys did a really, really great job. Like, I love doing these time attack events because it's just something different to the regular racing that we do here at LRC. Thank you, Dinosaur, for commentating, Toasty as well, and just want to give a quick shout out to our Discord. If you aren't completely familiar with LRC, definitely check out our Discord. We host basically an event every day of the week. We have an amazing crew. The sportsmanship is amazing. And we got a season 2 for our league coming up, so we're trying to fill out the final spots for that.
One spot left.
Yeah, one spot left. All right. Thank you guys so much, and have a great night.
Good night, all.